Hello everybody, welcome to Application Group 3's project. We have decided to have a little nose into authentic leadership. We thought it sounded very interesting, but what we really wanted to do was to have a look at it from a number of different perspectives. So we're going to start off with what's gone on in Moodle and have a little nose in there, see what people have been saying. We're going to go on to the theoretical part of it, look at what the academics have said, see what Leicester has to say, those sorts of things. Then we're going to go off piste a little bit. We're going to go to Pakuranga College. We're going to talk to kids, young guys and girls in their teens, leaders amongst their peers, and see what their point of view is. Then it's off to the other end of the spectrum. We're going to go and talk to CEOs, guys who have reached the top of their businesses. They're respected leaders. They have a lot of influence around our communities. See what they have to say. And finally, we will put down our own views, so our collective group's opinion on what we've learned, and lay down a little bit of a challenge to you guys to really live this in your day-to-day lives. So sit back, relax, and we'll crack into it.
Since our last meeting, I've been reviewing the contributions to our Moodle space. There's a central theme to a lot of people's entries. They're around listening and not taking the command role by default. Some of the group are starting to look at new ways of dealing with situations compared with the way they may have done things in the past. There's eagerness to explore that wicked space and to experiment and do other things. We have, however, quite a lot of different people in our group. In our exploration of our leadership and doing different things, we need to be careful that we're doing things that are of value to us, and what may work for others might not work for ourselves. And we have to remember that leadership is a long game, and actions taken now may not manifest in results in the short term. So in exploration of leadership in the short term, how do we make sure we know what we're doing is right? What's right for us, what's right for our businesses? Our group feels that being authentic and knowing yourself is an important part of understanding leadership and being true to being a real person in the eyes of the people we're leading. So we've asked ourselves, how do we feel about what we're doing? Does it feel right? But before we get into that, there's some theory and points of view on authentic leadership from Awena.
Thanks, Doug. I'm going to be talking about theory around authentic leadership. There's various references throughout the course that's available to us on authentic leadership. In particular, Dr. Lester Levy and Mark Bentley's paper titled More Right Than Real endorses the view around the importance to develop a leadership style that works well with you, consistent with your character, consistent with your personality. The various articles also refer to common characteristics of an authentic leader, namely things such as actions based on values, leading from personal conviction, and not faking your leadership style. It's true to say the more authentic the leadership style, the more likely the leader and the workforce will demonstrate the essential ingredients of success. More likely to see creativity, innovation and risk-taking in their day-to-day activity. So how does our authentic leadership journey begin? The first key step in this leadership challenge is for us to get to know ourselves. To quote from Doug before, this is not a quick fix or quick win recipe. As leaders, we need to recognise the need and techniques around self-awareness to commit the time and effort in unearthing the true you. Some call it a journey from the inside out with leadership as opposed to the outside in approach. Every successful leader comes with a story that sets out authentic leadership characteristics, traits and styles. So let's hear some real life stories which will help frame our leadership journey going forward.
In this presentation, students from Pakuranga College talk about their views of authentic leadership. Our students were interviewed just after camp, so they do look rather tired and they don't normally dress in this attire, but I'm sure you will appreciate what they have to say. Our college last year focused on the development of student leadership models, and we were especially interested in student views on leadership and what mattered for them. However, in the feedback and the initial discussion we had with them, the students told us that we got them to do things like run meetings and put on events and manage them, but we weren't actually giving them real leadership opportunities. So at the end of the year, we sat down and developed some goals for them, so that this year on our development plan for the first time we have student goals which will enable them to engage in unpacking what those goals mean to them into objectives, setting timelines, strategizing and doing the thinking around how they might carry those out. So we're hoping that they will enjoy that experience. But I'm sure you will enjoy what they have to say about authentic leadership and who they relate to in their leadership journeys. I think it's fair to say that their views are very intelligent and they have some very well developed perspectives on what authentic leadership means to them.
Real leadership is stepping it, not just leading by telling people what to do, but leading by example and actually getting in and doing things. So more action rather than words.
Yeah, it's not letting the power corrupt you and making you just try and be in charge and be the boss. It's getting everyone to get involved and helping everyone out.
I think leadership is all about people. So an authentic leader has to look out for the people and not just go for glory for themselves.
Yeah, like not just a leader who wants to do it for themselves, but actually caring for the people that they're leading for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sticking to your values and like going through other people's values as well.
He's stepping up, not like sitting back and just letting it happen.
Just a leader who helps others and who takes pride in it.
Yeah, someone who sticks to what they believe in and someone who's truthful to themselves.
Someone who is themselves and leads in the right way.
Someone who does something to the best of their abilities and yeah.
To me it's someone who's sincere in their beliefs and intentions and follows through.
Well, what it means is a leader who has a load of enthusiasm and motivation and is involved in everything. And people look up to them.
Barack Obama. Recently he's just the new president-elect and he seems really authentic because from all he does, he seems that he's for the people and everything he does is for a purpose and for the people of America.
People like Ho Chi Minh and Gandhi and stuff who started, and Martin Luther King, who started protests and stuff, created all these ways which other people have learnt from and can learn from.
Be Nelson Mandela, because in the beginning he was, in jail and had to go through all that suffering and things. Yeah, 23 years of prison.
He suffered for the people, not for his own needs.
Yeah. And led South Africa.
So, just people who put their group in front of themselves. Just
they think of others before themselves.
Who work for the group, not themselves.
Yeah. Because that's what a leader is. Yeah.
It's just commitment, just making sure you turn up there and you actually act as a leader and you don't try to just fall back and choose not to participate and get everyone involved.
Being prepared to take the role, I guess.
Yeah, just participating fully in everything and encouraging others to do the same.
You have to follow what you're saying, so you need to step down and make sure that you're considered one of the people that you're leading as well as the leader, not just
genuine care for the people that you're leading for. Yeah.
Finishing projects as well, following them through, despite finishing it was.
Do what you say.
You have to bring new, fresh ideas into the role and make things.
And I think also being yourself, not trying to be someone else. Because everyone's different. That's what they're different.
I don't try and lead like someone else because that's not you.
Just be yourself. So, you might have something that another person doesn't have, which is a good thing. And it's okay to make mistakes. Just learn from your mistakes.
I actually agree, communication is very important. That's voicing your ideas to people and never giving up what you believe in, not letting go of that.
Being able to communicate to different people who have different strengths and weaknesses.
I'd say being able to recognise your values and your priorities and sort out what's most important to you.
Staying true to your staying true to who you are and your personality.
And keep your values.
Be real.
Yeah.
Values.
Values. I think that's number one.
Yeah. Values.